The lock turns. The room holds its breath. Delivery, the soft voice says again. Grandma Rose's hand lifts, slow and steady. She shakes her head. No one opens the door. Jade's voice comes from the street, urgent. Back door! Use the back door. Amara points to the hallway. Girls first, she says. Jade's friend Sana moves the students like a quiet river, 2 by 2, heads down, notebooks clutched. Neighbors form a wall. The old power hums, the front bolt shakes harder. A thin metal tool slides under the door. Scrape, scrape. Amara looks at the ash jar on the table. Proof. She puts it in her bag. She lifts her chin. Jade, where are you? On the stairs, Jade pants over the phone. 2 men, black caps, 1 camera. They want a scene. Then we give them a silence, Amara says. The door stops rattling. A whisper slips through the crack. Smile for us, teacher. Footsteps fade. The hallway turns quiet again. Too quiet. Jade bursts inside from the back. Her hoodie is damp. She locks the door behind her and shoves a chair under the handle. Decoy did its job, she says. They stole the samosa recipes. You're welcome. The room laughs once, small, sharp, like a spark in rain. Amara checks the time. 8:06 p.m. The bad video is out in the wild. But the circle holds. Neighbors pass tea. A bus driver shares chips. The projector shows a still frame of Amara's simple facts. We keep going, Amara says. We do not run. Across town, Zane moves through the tower like a blade. Lila keeps pace. In his pocket, the ring. In his hand, his father's letter. On his tablet, the frozen image. Scar, crown ring, a hand at his mailbox. They reach the boardroom. Inside, Victor leans back with a glass and a small victory smile. The board chair sits stiff. Lawyers stack papers like bricks. Mrs. K stands near the window. Her face is a mask. Her ring, a crown, glints like a tiny moon. Zane places the tablet on the table. He taps the image larger. Someone stole my letter, he says. Here's the wrist. Here is the ring. Here is the scar. The room shifts. Air tightens. Eyes slide to Mrs. K's hand. She does not flinch. Victor sips his drink, casual. Many rings look alike, he says. Scars too, Lila's voice is calm. Not this ring, she says. Custom, 5 made. We traced invoices. Owners, Mr. Victor, board chair, CFO, Mrs. K, and 1 gifted to Victor's assistant. Victor's smile cracks for half a second, then returns. How precise, Mrs. K folds her hands. What do you want, Zane? Truth, Zane says. And my letter back. Victor laughs softly. You stand here with romance while your company bleeds. How noble, how expensive. Zane turns the tablet again. Lila swipes. A second clip appears. A hallway camera from the executive floor. It shows a small figure with a cap moving fast. The cap lifts. A pale throat. The same scar. But the hand, no ring this time, Lila zooms. He removes the ring in the elevator, she says. He puts it in a pocket. This is not clumsy. This is staged. Someone wants us to blame one of 5 owners. Victor shrugs. Or maybe your detective is trying too hard. Zane looks at his mother. Where were you at 7:44 p.m.? Mrs. K meets his eyes. Here with the board. The board chair nods. She has not left the room. Zane breathes once. He cannot prove the hand belongs to her. Not yet. But his chest knows a kind of old ache. He keeps his face calm. He places his father's letter on the table. Read this before you vote, he says. Then do what you want. The chair moves to take it. Victor is faster. He slides the letter with 2 fingers like he is touching a relic he plans to sell. Allow me, he says, and begins to read, eyes skimming, mouth crooked. He does not see Lila watch his hand. She sees a smudge of glue on his thumb. She remembers the burned ribbon. She files it away. Quiet. Deadly. Back at the community center, the circle breaks into small groups. People talk in low voices. Some cry, some argue. The projector keeps the simple facts on the wall like a lighthouse. A uniformed man appears at the door with 2 officers behind him. He holds a clipboard. City inspection, he says. Jade steps forward. At 8:20 p.m., she asks. Cute timing. Noise complaints, the man says. Amara nods. We are calm, sir. We are a class. He flips pages. Permit for crowd size. Fire exit marked. Yes and yes, Jade says, holding up the forms. She is ready. She is always ready. He glances past them at the girls, the aunties, the samosas. Something in his face softens, then hardens again. We also have a notice, he says, taking out a fresh paper. Report of unsafe wiring. Who reported? Amara asks. No name, he says. Jade sighs. Of course. He steps inside, checks outlets, touches the old fuse box. It's old, he says, but safe for now. Keep the back door clear. No candles. Amara bows her head. Thank you. He pauses at the door. He lowers his voice. Be careful tonight, he says. Someone is trying to shut you down. Then he leaves. Grandma Rose pours him tea to go. He takes it with a grateful nod. The circle sits taller. Sana whispers to Amara. They want fear. Amara nods. We give them order. Jade's phone buzzes. A message from a source, ballroom crowd chanting. Victor ready to reveal audit. Attached is a photo of a thick file with a gold clip and a logo. Jade zooms. Microprint on the corner. HMT. The same paper brand used for the hate card. Jade shows Amara. Same paper house, she says. Same tree, same forest. We cut it down, Amara says. Across town, Victor's ballroom turns into a show. Lights, applause, free drinks, loud music. He lifts the gold-clipped file like a trophy. We found problems, he says into a mic. Hidden losses. Hidden lovers. The company needs a strong hand. He points at Zane on a big screen, frozen on a frame where Zane looks tired, human, honest. Victor lets the image hang. Weak, he says. The crowd boos on cue. Back at the boardroom, the final vote begins. 3 hands rise to remove Zane. 2 hands rise to keep him. Mrs. K does not raise her hand. She stares at the letter as if it is a ghost at her table. We need the 6th vote, the chair says to her. Silence. Lila's tablet dings. She glances down. Her eyes sharpen. She whispers to Zane. We have a way to flip this. How? Zane asks without moving his lips. By letting a trap close, Lila says. She walks to the door. Board members, she says. May I show you something on the main lobby screen? It concerns your audit. It is easier to view together. Victor's mouth thins. We can view it here. Signal is stronger downstairs, Lila says smoothly. And press is not allowed in that corridor. The board chair considers. He nods. 2 minutes, he says. They file out. Victor last, eyes like a hawk. When the board is gone, Zane turns to his mother. Did you steal my letter? He asks softly. Her chin quivers. It stops. I protected legacy, she says, not answering. Did you ever protect love? He asks. Her eyes flick to the ring on her hand. She hides it in her sleeve. Love made me weak once, she says. I learned. Zane's voice is gentle and hard at the same time. Then learn again. She looks away. In the main lobby, Lila taps a code. The big screen blinks. It shows a document, Victor's glossy audit, zoomed very close. Too close. Letters turn into shapes, shapes into dots. Lila speaks calmly to the board. In microprint, reputable papermakers hide batch codes, she says. This batch code is the same as the batch from a hate card left at Ms. Amara's door. And the same as the envelopes from fake inspections. The same shipment. Same buyer. Which buyer? The chair asks. Lila smiles without joy. Victor's company, she says. The invoice is paid by a shell. But the shell used a card we know. We have the receipts, Victor laughs, but the sound is thin. Paper is paper. Paper is proof, Lila says. She swipes again. The screen shows a live camera feed from Victor's ballroom. The crowd cheers. The audit glows. The gold clip shines. Would you like the ending? Lila asks the board. No one speaks. She continues. At 8:32 p.m., that audit will show screenshots of numbers. But those are not numbers from our books. They are from a demo server Victor used last year to pitch a different client. We pulled the metadata, timestamps, hashes. The file is fake. How can we trust you? The CFO asks, brittle. Because I sent the demo hash to your personal email just now, Lila says. Check, phones come out. Fingers move. The CFO's face drains. It matches, he says, small. Victor's smile is gone. He sets down his glass. This is a performance, he says. A good one. Better than your show, Lila says. Upstairs, Mrs. K stands alone with Zane. The city is a map of light behind her. She touches the back of a chair. as if it can hold her up. You want me to be soft, she says. I want you to be true, Zane says. Her eyes shine for 1 second. One small, bright second, then go cold again. The world is not kind to women who are true, she says. It is kinder when men choose right, he says. Downstairs, the board chair clears his throat. We suspend the vote, he says. If Victor used false documents, we will not be his audience. Victor's jaw dances. You made a mistake, he says. I do not forget. We remember, Lila says. That is the difference. Back at the community center, the lights flicker once more. Then they die. Dark. A gasp comes from the back. A little hand finds Amara's hand in the dark. Fingers squeeze. Warm. Real. Jade's voice floats through the black. Phone's up. Flashlights only. No candles. A galaxy of small lights blooms. The room glows soft. Faces appear. Calm. Ready. A shadow moves in the hallway window. The same soft voice returns. Delivery. Sana slips to the back door and opens it a crack. 2 women stand there, nurses from the block, holding a box of portable lanterns. We saw the lights go, one says. We brought stars. They set the lanterns around the room. The glow is steady. The circle breathes again. A tall man in a suit enters with slow steps. No cap, no mask. Only empty hands and a kind face. He shows an ID. I work at the tower, he says. I fix elevators. My daughter studies here. I have something for you. He lifts a small drive. From a camera Victor did not buy, he says. It shows who took the letter from the mailbox. It shows where the letters went. Amara's heartbeat moves to her throat. Where? She asks. He swallows. A locked drawer on the executive floor. Office label K. The room murmurs. Some know what K means. Amara looks at Grandma Rose. The old woman's face is calm, but her jaw is made of stone. 2 hands, Grandma says. Grace, proof. Jade plugs the drive into her laptop. The screen shows the hallway. The cap, the scar. The letter in the hand. Then a quick walk. An elevator. A quiet office with soft lamps. A desk, a key from a bracelet. A drawer, letters inside. Many letters. Some sealed, some open. The hand places the new letter on top. The camera catches a reflection in the glass of a framed photo on the desk. 2 figures, a young Zane, a younger Mrs. K. The room goes very still. Jade zooms. The reflection shows a second person behind the thief. A tall shape, slim, with a crown ring. The face is mostly shadow, but the angle is enough, not Mrs. K. Victor's assistant. The assistant wears the crown ring. He holds a phone. He takes a photo of the drawer full of letters and sends it to someone with the contact name K.A. New Chill moves through the room. The trap is wider than they thought. 2 hands, 2 rings. 2 different kinds of betrayal weaving the same net. Amara stands. Her voice is quiet and sharp. We will not guess, she says. We will not call names. We will send this to the right eyes. And we will speak, she turns to the girls. Courage, she says. Say it with me. They say it soft at first, then stronger. Courage. The word becomes a rope they all hold. At the tower, Lila's phone vibrates. She opens the message from Jade. She watches the clip. She exhales. We have it, she tells Zane, the letters, the office, the assistant, the ring, and a sender named K. Zane closes his eyes. He sees a hallway when he was 9. He sees his mother's hand pulling him away from a door where his father slept in his chair, tired and kind. He sees another hand in that house, someone who always stood in shadow, always listened too closely. He opens his eyes. We take this to the police, he says. Now. We will, Lila says. But there is one more move. What? Zane asks. Your father's letter, Lila says. Read it to the workers. Read it to the city. Read it to Amara, tonight, he nods. He looks like a man who chooses his mountain. Back at the community center, the lights jump back to life. The old bones groan, then settle. The lanterns glow anyway. The room is bright now, but it keeps the softness. A clang hits the front door. A final envelope slides under. No stamp, no seal. The blocky, broken Amara picks it up and opens it with 2 fingers. 1 sentence inside, printed bold, Dinkang PM. Final offer. Break up on camera or watch him fall. The clock reads 8:41. Amara looks at Jade. We don't bend, she says. Jade nods. We break the trap. Amara steps to the front. The room quiets. She holds up the ash jar. They sent fire, she says. We made proof. She holds up the letter clip. They sent lies. We made light. Her voice does not shake. At 9 p.m., we do not break up on camera. We make a promise on camera. A promise to truth, to work, to love that is not for sale. A slow smile spreads across faces. Someone claps once, then twice. Then the room is a heartbeat. Across town, Victor lifts his mic again. It's over, he says to his ballroom. Watch him fall. Up in the glass boardroom, Mrs. K holds the back of the chair. She stares at the window and sees herself as a young woman for one breath, a girl who once chose law over love and called it strength. Her ring feels heavy. Her hand opens. The ring clicks on the table like a tiny bell. She whispers to an empty room, "Do not repeat my mistake." The doors open. Zane steps in holding his father's letter, the simple ring in his pocket and the new proof on Lila's tablet. Jade holds up her phone at the community center. She starts a live stream. Neighbors, she says to the lens. Tonight we are not an audience. We are witnesses. Amara steps into frame. She breathes in. She breathes out. She begins. The trap has teeth, but so does the truth, and now the truth bites back. Night presses on the glass tower like a cold hand. Mrs. K stands alone in the boardroom. The city is a carpet of lights below. On the table, a drawer key, an empty ring finger, and a small pile of letters, some sealed, some opened, all dangerous. She touches one envelope as if it might bite. Long ago, she loved someone the world said no to. She chose law over love and called it strength. Since then, she learned to be stone. Tonight, the stone is cracking. Downstairs, the main lobby fills with quiet tension. Lila checks a wall of screens. Zane stands beside her. He holds two things, the simple ring in his pocket and his father's old letter in his hand. The bad video screams across the internet. Victor smiles in a rented ballroom. The city watches. At the community center, lanterns glow like small moons. Jade lifts her phone. Live, she says. Amara faces the lens. The room is full. Workers, aunties, students, neighbors. Grandma Rose sits steady by the door, a mountain in a shawl. Amara speaks in simple lines. I refuse the money. I will not be owned. I teach girls. I'm not for sale. She stops. She lets silence be a knife that cuts lies. Hearts flood the chat. Hate floods too. The circle holds. A door opens at the tower. Two officers enter with a thin man between them. Victor's assistant, the quiet one with the pale scar. His wrists are free. His stare is flat. Lila nods to the officers. Thank you, she says. Interview room, the assistant sits. Lila sets down two photos, the mailbox hand with the crown ring and the reflection of the drawer labeled K. Who is K? Lila asks. He looks at the camera. Kestrel, he says. His voice is sand. A code name. Victor's little bird. Who unlocked the drawer? Lila asks. He blinks once. A bracelet key, he says. Mrs. K has one. I have a copy. Zane does not move. His face is calm. His chest is not. Why the letters? Lila asks. The assistant shrugs. Insurance. If love got loud, we make it look cheap. Who took orders? Lila asks. He smiles without joy. Money gives orders. People just hold the phone. Lila files every word. Calm. Deadly. Upstairs, Mrs. K touches the window. Her breath leaves a small ghost on the glass. She picks up the drawer key. She puts it down. She picks it up again. She walks out. In the lobby, she faces Zane. For a moment, mother and son look the same. Proud spine, tired eyes, a secret ache. I was wrong, she says. The words are small rocks. I kept those letters to control damage. I told myself it was protection. It was fear. Give me the key, Zane says. She opens her hand. The key shines in her palm. She does not give it yet. Your father left 2 letters, she whispers. You hold one. The other is in a box only I can open. Zane waits. She closes his fingers around the key. Her voice drops. In that box is a voting trust. If you read his letter to the public, word for word, before midnight, control moves from this board to a workers' trust for 1 year. A trial, a hope. He wanted you to earn legacy, not inherit it. Zane's throat tightens. Why didn't you tell me? Because love made me weak once, she says. I thought law would keep you safe. It did not. Truth will. She steps back. The diamond crown ring is gone from her hand. The space looks naked, honest. Lila's tablet vibrates. A red flash, market attack. The stock drops fast, a cliff of numbers. Bots sell, rumors spin. Victor's ballroom cheers. Lila whispers, "They're crashing you before the trust can move. If panic holds, the exchange halts trading. Then no transfer, no vote, no nothing." Zane nods once. "Then we choose now." He walks to a small stage in the lobby. Workers have gathered there, pulled by whispers and phones. Cameras are not invited, but truth does not need an invitation. He looks into a single lens, Lila's secure feed, and into many faces. "I made a promise," he says. "To a woman. To this company. To you." He holds up the old paper. "This is my father's letter. It is not a weapon. It is a compass," he begins to read. The words are simple and heavy. "Legacy is people, not power. Pay attention to the quiet jobs. The janitors keep your soul clean. The cooks keep your mind sharp. Take one day each month to walk the floor with empty hands and full ears. If you must choose, choose love, because power rots, phones go quiet, eyes lift." The city leans in. Across town, Victor watches the stream on a muted screen. He clicks his tongue. "Sweet," he says. "But late?" He nods to a tech. "Run it." A new wave hits the net. Fake audit pages everywhere, watermarked with Lila's batch code, stamped with loud lies. Headlines multiply. Illegal donations, rigged contracts. The drop is timed to attack the heart, not the math. Back at the community center, the live chat goes feral. Jade narrows her eyes. "Breathe," she tells the room. This is noise. Amara doesn't look at the chat. She looks at the girls. "Lesson," she says. "How to hold a storm. You plant your feet. You speak facts. You do not chase every lie." A knock. The inspector returns, hat in hands. "Order to close," he says. "Eyes sorry." Anonymous complaint. "Unsafe crowd. Political activity. If I sign, they lock you tonight." He waits. He wants a reason not to sign. Amara hands him a folder. "Our permits. Our safety plan. Our teacher list. Our student list is private. We protect our girls," he reads fast. He swallows. He lowers his voice. "My daughter studies here," he says. "If anyone asks, this is a class, not a rally." He doesn't sign. He folds the order and puts it in his own pocket. "Keep the exits clear," he says, and leaves. The room exhales. Grandma Rose gives him tea for the road again. In the tower, the board files back from the lobby screen. The chair looks pale. "Victor," he says, "where did your audit come from?" Victor smiles with no teeth. "From Concern," he says. The CFO holds up his phone. "From a demo server you used last year," he says. "We have the hashes." For a small moment, Victor's eyes show what he is. Hungry, cornered, mean. Then the smile returns. "We will see what the market says," he murmurs. He steps close to Mrs. K, voice low. "You trained him to be cold. Now you melt. Interesting." Mrs. K does not look at him. "I trained him to be clean," she says. "He chose to be brave." Lila rushes in. "Two things," she says. "One, filings. We can post the trust in the public registry now. It will look reckless. It will save the transfer if the market halts. 2, police are ready for the assistant's statement. Shall I send everything?" Zane does not take time to think. He has done all his thinking. "File both," he says. "Send everything. You know what this costs?" The board chair asks. "Your title. Maybe your name." Zane's voice is steady. "Names can be rebuilt. People cannot." A clerk runs in with a thick envelope and a sharp voice. "Emergency injunction," she says. "Signed, Judge. Temporary removal of Zane as acting CEO for 24 hours. Asset freeze pending investigation." Papers hit the table like cold meat. Victor almost laughs. "How unfortunate," he says. "Right when you planned your noble act." Lila takes the papers. She reads. She frowns. "Filed 1 hour ago," she says, "by Kingsley Family Trust." She looks up. "Mrs. K?" Mrs. K's face does not move. "I filed it," she says quietly. The room chills. "Before I saw the letters, before the key, I thought I was protecting the company. Withdraw it," the chair snaps. "You cannot withdraw a signed order," Lila says. "We need the judge or a higher filing to override." Mrs. K reaches into her bag. She takes out another envelope, older, softer, sealed with wax. She hands it to Zane. Your father planned for this, she says. A contingency. It only works if you read his letter to the public, word perfect, and register the trust before midnight. It overrides family claims for one day, a wedge, enough to move control. What if I miss a word? Zane asks. Then it dies in the box, she says. And so does his wish. Lila looks at the clock. 11:41 p.m. Markets in after-hours chaos. Exchange threatening a halt. Servers hot. The city wide awake. Then we do it, Zane says. No edits, no polish. Truth ugly and clear. They move as one. Lila files the trust into the public registry. The system lags, then accepts with a soft chime. Pending, effect at midnight if conditions met. At the community center, Jade gets the public filing ping. She shows Amara. He's doing it, Jade says. Amara's eyes shine. She looks straight into the lens. Stand with your workers, she says. Stand with your heart. We are watching. A new message flashes on Jade's screen from an unknown number. Final move. Leak a fake voice note at 11:55. Make her sound like she took the deal. Break them with her own voice. A file icon waits like a trap. Jade does not touch it. She forwards the header to Lila. They will deepfake me, Amara whispers. Her hands are steady. Her eyes are not. My voice is simple. Easy to steal. We counter, Jade says. We post your raw studio takes, time-stamped, your true voice clean. We flood the net first, they prep, they post. They tag every teacher, every neighbor, every student's auntie. Small rivers make a wide sea. In the tower lobby, the workers return. Zane stands on the small stage again. He holds his father's letter with two hands like prayer. Lila raises the secure lens, word for word, she says. He nods. He begins. He reads every line. He does not rush. Take care of the quiet hands, he reads. Do not lie for numbers. If you love, do it in daylight. Time moves like thick honey. 11:53. 11:54. 11:55. Across town, Victor's tech presses send on the fake voice note. The clip spreads fast. Amara's voice saying she took money, that she faked grades, that love is a game. It is made of poison and skill, but the net is already full of her real voice, clean, simple, time-stamped, held by thousands of small accounts with no reason to lie. The fake still bites. The truth does not bleed. Amara does not flinch. She holds up the ash jar. Proof, she says into the lens. Always keep proof. Lila's tablet pings. Exchange halt imminent. At 11:57, a red bar crawls toward a hard stop. She whispers to Zane, finish, perfect, or we lose the window. Zane reads the last paragraph. His father's words are a map and a mirror. If you ever must choose, he reads, voice low, clear, true. Choose the person who keeps your soul awake. Companies sleep. People wake. Mrs. K closes her eyes. One tear escapes. She lets it. Lila's finger hovers over submit on the final registry step. The system needs one more input. A code printed at the bottom of the letter, small as a breath. Zane looks down. The code is there, stamped in faint ink. He speaks it digit by digit. Lila types. The system thinks. The red bar on the market feed crawls. 58:11:59. A bailiff steps into the lobby with two officers. He holds the injunction high. By court order, he begins. 1 minute, Lila says without looking up. We are in the last line. The bailiff repeats louder. By court order, the stream glitches. A flicker, a freeze. The building's Wi-Fi stutters under load. The screen shows Zane's face mid-word. Time wobbles. Lila switches to cellular. The signal drops to 2 bars. The registry page spins. Submitting. Victor's ballroom erupts as the big screen shows a freeze frame of Zane. Mouth open, hand raised. Victor lifts his glass. Down we go, he says. At the community center, the lanterns buzz. The live chat freezes. Amara grips the table. The girls grip each other. Grandma Rose whispers a small prayer that sounds like a lullaby and a battle cry. Back in the lobby, the registry page flashes white, then gray. Then, confirmed condition met effect at 0 hour. The clock flips to 12:00 a.m. A soft chime echoes from Lila's tablet. Another chime from the boardroom upstairs. Another from the public registry. 3 notes clear as bells. The bailiff lowers his paper, confused. What had just happened? Lila exhales a laugh that sounds like relief and war. A promise moved, she says. From hands to people. But before anyone can breathe, a new alert screams across every screen. Emergency motion filed. Hostile takeover vote, scheduled at dawn. Venue moved. Venue moved where? All screens update. A location pops up like a trapdoor. Victor's private ballroom. 8:45 a.m. He means to steal the morning. Zane closes his fist around the simple ring. He looks at Lila, at Mrs. K, at the workers, at the camera that connects him to Amara. He says one word, quiet and full of heat. Fight. At the community center, Amara meets the lens. We do not go quiet, she says. We go together. The stream steadies. The crowd steadies. The city holds its breath. The night ends. The choice is made. Dawn is a battlefield. Dawn is thin and gray. The city holds its breath. Victor's private ballroom glows like a golden cage. Tall windows, cold mirrors, a stage with a long black table. Name cards wait like sharp teeth. 5:45 a.m. blinks on a screen. Inside, men in suits whisper. Lawyers stack folders. Guards stand like statues. A single empty chair sits at the center with a brass plate. Acting chair. Victor chose the plate himself. Across town, the community center is already awake. Lamps hum. Tea steams. Girls yawn and smile. Amara ties her hair back. Jade checks 3 batteries and 4 backups. Grandma Rose holds a small bag with 2 things, the ash jar and a folded scarf. Zane walks in wearing a plain suit and a clear face. Lila is at his shoulder, calm and exact. Mrs. K enters last, without diamonds, without the crown ring. She looks smaller. She looks more real. Jade hands Zane a small mic. Private link, she says. No leaks. 1 stream to the workers, 1 stream to us, 1 copy to the registry. Amara meets Zane's eyes. They do not touch. They stand close enough to share breath. Today, she says, we do not just survive. Today, he says, we set the table. They move. At the ballroom door, a guard holds up his hand. Closed session, he says. Lila shows a letter from the registry, stamped with midnight law. Workers hold a trust, she says. They can witness. 2 representatives inside, the rest outside on a live feed. She smiles without warmth. Your venue. Our rules. The guard eyes the stamp. He steps aside. Inside, Victor stands with his palms open. So glad you could come, citizens, he says into the mic. The word citizen sounds like a joke in his mouth. Zane sits. Lila stands behind him. Mrs. K sits on the edge, spine tall, hands quiet. 2 workers take seats near the back. Cameras face the stage. Jade's private feed hums from the community center wall. Amara watches the screen with the neighbors and girls. The ash jar sits by the projector like a small gray moon. Victor taps the mic. We call this vote to order, he says. New chair, new dawn. He lifts a sleek folder. We move to remove Zane as CEO, he says. We replace him with a temporary board of neutral experts. He smiles at the press cameras he swore he wouldn't invite. Flashes bloom like tiny bombs. The board chair clears his throat. We require proofs, he says, looking tired. Real ones, not shows, Victor nods. Of course, he snaps his fingers. Screens light up with his audit, corrected overnight, shiny again. Lila raises a hand. Motion to enter counterproofs, she says, voice level. Chain of custody for the hate paper. Metadata for the fake audit. Video of the mailbox theft. Statement from Victor's assistant. Victor laughs. My assistant, he says. The quiet boy with the scar. He is loyal. Not today, Lila says. 2 officers open a side door. The assistant walks in, eyes flat, hands folded. He places a phone and a small crown ring in a tray. No games now. Victor's smile tilts. He was coerced. The assistant speaks slow and clear. I was paid, he says. By Victor. To steal letters. To pose as K. To stage the ring shots. I wore this ring when told. I removed it when told. Here are the messages. Here are the transfers. He looks at Zane. I am ready for charges. Screens fill with timestamps and money trails. Room air changes. Victor claps once, soft. Even if this is true, he says, Zane is still reckless. He gave away control. He puts love over law. Mrs. K stands. Her voice is not loud, but it cuts clean. He put truth over fear, she says. I filed an order against him in panic. I rescind my support for Victor. I support the trust. I support my son, gasps. Cameras twitch. For a second, Victor's eyes show the one thing he cannot act. Surprise. He leans into the mic. How touching, he says. Let us vote. He lifts a sleek black cube. Electronic ballots, he says. Fast, private. Lila smiles like a cat who has already seen the mouse. Those cubes route through your server, she says. Conflict of interest. We use paper. She snaps her fingers. Staff carry in sealed boxes stamped with the registry mark. Paper with batch codes, she adds. We learned from you, Victor's teeth show. Old-fashioned, he says. Hard to fake, she says. Ballots go out. Pen scratch. Time slows. Outside the ballroom, hundreds of workers line the hall, badges on lanyards, eyes bright. The private feed plays on a wall screen. A nurse holds a little boy's hand. A janitor holds a mop like a flag. At the community center, the circle is tight, the air steady. Amara rests one hand on the table. The other hand holds nothing. She does not wring it. She does not shake. Grandma Rose whispers, 2 hands, grace, proof. Amara nods. Small. A low alarm chirps in the ballroom. Fire panel blinks. Guards tense. The lights dim, then recover. Victor lifts his mic. We must evacuate, he says smoothly. For safety, Lila is faster. She holds up the building's panel report on her tablet. False alarm from a maintenance loop, she says. Triggered by a device that just connected under the stage. She points. A guard reaches under and pulls out a small emitter with Victor's ballroom logo on the side. The room murmurs. Victor spreads his hands. Someone planted a like your paper, Lila says. He shrugs. Vote, ballots return to the front. 2 workers and 1 neutral auditor count. Lila watches the batch codes on every page. Mrs. K watches faces. Victor watches the cameras. Numbers hit the ledger. The board chair lifts his eyes. He reads the tally once. Then twice. He breathes in. Motion to remove Zane, he says. Fails. Silence. Then a rustle. Then 1 small clap from the back. Then 2, then many. It is not loud. It is solid. Victor's smile holds brittle. Then a second motion, he says quickly, voice sharp. To strip him of voting power pending criminal review. Denied, the chair says, stronger now. We have no criminal case. We have your assistant. We have your paper. Sit down. Victor does not sit. This is not over. You are right, a new voice says. The back doors open. A woman in a gray suit steps in with 2 officers and a badge that needs no speech. Securities Bureau, she says. We have a warrant for your devices and your ballroom server. Victor's eyes go flat. He chuckles once low. Take a number, he says. But his hands shake when he sets down his phone. Lila whispers to Zane, You can move now. She shows the registry page on her tablet. Trust active. 1 more line blinks. Waiting for a signature, employee council charter. Zane stands. He moves to the mic. He looks at the workers outside the glass, at the lens that runs to the community center, at the board that just learned how to breathe. He takes the simple ring from his pocket. He holds it up. It shines like a small, honest sun. My father wrote that legacy is people, he says. So here is our map. He signs the charter with a steady hand. Words appear on the screen behind him, big and clean. 20% of company voting power to employees through the trust. 10% of future profits to community schools. Starting with Amara's night school. Board seats reserved for 3 worker-elected members. Open floor days every month. No cameras. Only ears, no layoffs this year. Cut bonuses before jobs. The room does not cheer. It stands, and outside, workers lift their badges like a quiet salute. One by one, then many, they tap badges to the door sensor. Click, 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 a sound like rain on stone. Each tap signals a single word on the hallway screen. Yes, yes, yes. At the community center, Jade slaps the table once, happy. Girls laugh and wipe tears. Aunties say prayers. The inspector in the doorway smiles into his hat. Amara does not cheer. She watches Zane through the lens. Her eyes are warm. Her jaw is firm. She is proud. She is not surprised. Victor speaks again, hoarse. Romance, he spits. You bought applause with candy. Zane turns to him. We bought time with truth, he says. Now face yours. The bureau officer lifts a clear bag. Inside sits the small device from under the stage and a flash drive with a gold clip. Chain of evidence, she says. We'll see you soon. Victor's assistant lowers his head. I will testify, he says softly. Victor finally stops smiling. Mrs. K steps to the mic. She does not look at Victor. She looks at the workers. I was wrong, she says. I used fear to call it self-love. I am sorry. Her voice shakes on the last word. She lets it. If you will have me, I will work under the trust. If not, I will leave clean. A mechanic raises a hand. Stay, he says. But be like this, Mrs. K nods. She bows her head. A queen learning how to be a person. Lila's watch buzzes. She taps it. A green light. She smiles at Zane. Exchange resumed, she whispers. Stock stops falling. Stories shift. Zane breathes out. He looks at the tiny ring in his hand. He looks through the camera across the city, into a simple room full of neighbors, where a woman with steady eyes waits. Before we close, he says, and the room quiets again, I have one more promise to keep. He turns to the workers first. I will give you my hours, he says. I will give you my ears. I will not hide behind glass, he turns to the lens. He speaks to Amara. Once in a library I told you I would build a world where you do not have to hide, he says. I cannot build a world alone, but I can build a life with you. In daylight, the ballroom is silent. The community center is silent. The city is almost silent. Zane steps away from the board table. He walks to a side door where the private link camera waits. He does not grandstand. He does not kneel on a stage made by enemies. He walks into the morning. Minutes later, he pushes open the community center door. The room rises without thinking. Girls stand. Aunties stand. Neighbors stand.
Jade grins and wipes her face with her sleeve.
Grandma Rose's eyes shine like wet stars. Zane stops 2 steps from Amara. The simple ring sits in his open palm. No music. No stunt, no speech. He says, I choose you. With proof, Amara laughs low and bright. We are equals, she says softly. Or we are nothing. We are equals, he says. He does not kneel. He does not need to. He offers the ring like a bridge, not a crown. She extends her hand. He slides the ring on. It fits like a memory that finally found its home. The room exhales. Someone claps. Someone cries. Jade whoops and then hides her face. The girls cheer and then giggle and then cheer again. Grandma Rose ties the folded scarf around their joined hands. For strength, she says. For work. Outside, the sun finally shows its full face. It hits the cracked paint and makes it glow. It touches the workers at the tower doors. It even touches the empty ballroom where Victor stands alone with his mirrors. Lila leans against the doorframe, tired and smiling. Mrs. K stands beside her, small and brave. She whispers just once, do not repeat my mistake. Then she looks at Amara and adds, welcome. Amara squeezes Zane's fingers. We go back to class, she says, smiling at the girls. We have a lot to learn. Zane nods. And a lot to build. He turns to the room. Today, he says, we start with lights. A neighbor flips the old breaker. The lamps hum strong. The lanterns stay lit anyway. No one turns them off. It is good to keep extra light. Amara picks up the chalk. On the board, she writes a single word in big, clear strokes, promise. She underlines it twice. She sets the chalk down. She takes Zane's hand with one hand and with the other. She holds the rope the whole room holds. Courage. Third-person voice closes the circle. He kept the promise. Not with money, but with the life built around her. Open hands. Open doors and enough light for everyone to see.